Hey, this is John Young. Today we're looking at the ELX-200 12SP. That's the 12-inch sub right there from Electro-Voice. And what I have above it, the Everse 8 that we've talked about, the battery-powered little unit that can do a lot of different things with the mixer and such inbuilt in that. This is the system. And what we're going to do with this particular segment, we're going to put some music to it. We're going to push it right to the point of getting the little limit light on the back of the sub. In this one, I've already done the test and such a couple of times, and we're going to do it again live here for you guys to check out. We're going to get it to the point where it's starting to flicker on. Now, with the limit light, when you're talking Electro-Voice, that does not mean that it's clipping yet. What it's meaning is that the signal coming in is getting to the point that it is strong enough that if you continue to push harder, what it's going to do is more compression is going to be added to it to protect the speaker. So when it's just flickering on a little bit, that is just kind of a warning light. So I'm getting to the point on the sub where it's flickering on a little bit. So that means that that's about as far as I want to push the sub. I could push a little more, but that's about as far as I'm going to want to run it. And then we're going to get an idea of how loud this is going to be here. And then I'm going to go about 30 feet down in the room and give you an idea of the throw. First thing I'm going to do is get some hearing protection in because this does get a little bit loud. Couple of thoughts with this particular configuration. For smaller applications, or if you're a live musician, I think this is actually kind of a killer little idea. The idea we're going to be able to take a little Everse 8 that I can use for the ceremony, can use it in different spots, and I can be able to use it as a main for times when I don't need a ton of volume. As you can see, we got about 108 here. Interesting thing, I think that when we compare this to a traditional, a little bit larger speaker on top, we may have a difference in the throw capability of what it could do at a distance. We'll test that in an upcoming video. But it's going to give me a nice dispersion because they've got a nice wide dispersion on these things, and it's going to give me a nice sound. It's not going to give me the taking the paint off the walls type of sound, but for some applications, this is the sound system that would work wonderfully and give you flexibility. Meaning I could take this and go do my ceremony, come back, and then I could go and do acoustic guitar type of thing and sing a little bit and have some fun for a really small, intimate event. I think that reception. There's places for this, and I think it's something that people could use. Now, is this going to be something you could use as a main for your whole night? No, I don't think so. Because as we were listening to that little track of Michael's, once it got into there and it got the driving beat, it started to get to the point where the top was being pushed to its limit also. It doesn't have a ton of amplification in here. It's got about a 400 watt amp. It can get to about 110 decibels, give or take. That's going to be kind of a limiting factor. It's not going to give you a ton, but it's going to give you a nice sound up to a point. After that, it still sounds great. It's just there's nothing left to go. You know, you're kind of at the end of your amplifier and such. Now, another kind of interesting thing in this configuration, the Everse is a newer generation. The ELX-200 is an older generation. So there's the presets on the back of EV subs and EV tops. This has the preset for that sub. That sub does not have the preset for the top. So at first I went and I set the preset up here to the 12SP sub, and then I just basically left it at the 10. I was thinking of maybe the ELX-200 10 would be a close match up here. It's not. When I listened to it, you could hear that there was a hole in the frequencies. They did not match up. So I switched it up and I put 100, crossed it over to 100 hertz here and down there, set it there, and that brought the kind of covering a full spectrum very, very well. Maybe there needs to be a little bit. Maybe it needs to be, the crossover should be at 110 hertz. I don't know. That's something that a person would have to play with. This is just crossed over to 100 top and bottom, just to give you an idea of what it could sound like and what its capabilities are. We'll put a link in the description below so you can check this out. But again, this is the Electro-Voice Everse 8 and the Electro-Voice ELX-200 12SP sub in action. This is John Young. Thanks for watching.